Hey, everybody. It is Mike, and I'm joined by the wonderful Chris Sewall. Chris, how are you?
What's going on? I'm good.
Do you ever get called wonderful on one of these videos before?
Wonderful. No, I don't think so. I don't think
No.
haven't heard
I don't
that
know
one.
where that came from.
Yeah, I'll take it. I like
Yeah, I stand by it, though. So, what I wanted to talk about today is the Hall of Fame, Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, and active players who are locks. We're going to zip through those. We'll talk about those very quickly.
Yeah.
Guys who are borderline now, but can solidify themselves in the Hall with another good season or three, and then guys that are kind of long shots but have the potential. And so we're going to go through a bunch of guys. First of all, though, I'm going to ask you a trivia question. You're kind of like me. You've shifted away from current baseball, right? You don't follow it very closely like you used to.
No. Yeah. I don't follow it day to day.
I have started following it day to day, and I was pretty surprised by something that I learned today as I was going through one of these players.
Okay.
The question is, what team does Paul Goldschmidt currently play for?
Paul Gold. I would have thought the Cardinals or the. I don't know if it's not that.
It is not.
Hold on. Let me cheat. Did he get traded recently?
Oh, traded. That's a good question.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I would not have gotten that. Yeah, I see it.
I was shocked, and I followed baseball pretty darn closely all winter. So for people watching, he's playing for the Yankees now, and I've read every Yankees box score so far. What, two of them?
Uh-huh.
Did not notice that he's playing for the Yankees.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I guess he's sort of fallen out of like the news in terms of like a big splash, given that he's what is he 37 and had two kind of blah years in a row.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have thought that would have been bigger news.
Yeah.
I might have been, and we just missed it.
Yeah, I don't know. And he started off well because what do you know about the Yankees right now?
Like, what do you mean? How?
Have you followed their barrage of home runs?
No. Tell me.
Okay, so they hit 9 home runs yesterday,
Okay,
and Judge
nine home runs in one game.
9 home runs in like the first 3 or 4 innings,
Ooh.
and then no more the rest of the game. Judge had 3 home runs in the first 4 innings,
Okay, his card values exploded.
and then he hit a double off the wall in his
Okay.
4th at bat or 5th at bat, something like that.
Yeah.
And then a position player came up to pitch against him in the 8th or 9th inning, and he flew out. It was his opportunity to
Was he
hit a 4th home run.
was he hitting home runs against like quality pitchers, and then he just popped up against the position player?
At least his first home run was off former Yankee Nestor Cortez.
Okay.
But the thing is that came out, I think yesterday, is that the Yankees are using new bats where they hired like I don't know, a genius who said, well, actually, I have a bat right here. This is a 2004 Red Sox bat. And you know how, oh, dust, man. You know how on a bat it gets gradually wider, right?
Sure. Yeah.
He said, well, you want the barrel to be thicker where you want to hit it. So they shifted some of the thickness into the middle of the barrel for the Yankees. The Yankees have done this on their own bats, and apparently it's legal, and they are barreling everything. They've hit a bazillion home runs, and now people are going, hang on, how do we get one of these geniuses on our team?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to start. I'm gonna have to start following this. That's pretty interesting. Okay.
And it
So
seems so obvious.
they're off to like insane pay. Yeah. Well, and it only took 150 years of baseball
Right.
to figure this out.
Right. It's one of those things that a genius would think of, and everybody else would go, that makes perfect sense. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah. I mean, that's why you get George Costanza in there.
What was the fabric? He said they had to wear cotton, right?
Cotton. Yeah.
Or polyester?
I don't
They were
remember.
yeah,
What was the problem with it? It melted in the heat or something.
yeah, like I think they started to sweat, and I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he wore Babe Ruth's uniform around.
That's good. That's good trivia. I would not have got Paul Goldschmidt. That's surprising.
Yeah.
MVP just a couple of years ago.
Yep. Will he make the Hall of Fame? Let's actually start with the guys who definitely will. We're going to go. You and I agree. We've talked about this many times. WAR is a deeply imperfect stat, but it's also a great baseline for you to start with because,
I think it's the best baseline there is.
yeah, so you can look at a guy and say, okay, he's 80 WAR. There's no chance he won't get into the Hall of Fame unless he has PEDs or some other controversy. So, great place to start. Mike Trout, 86 WAR. He's a lock, right?
Yep, I have 6 active guys who are locks. Although
Okay.
yeah, Trout's one of them. Yeah,
Mookie Betts, 70 WAR. He's a lock.
lock. Yep.
Next guy is Paul Goldschmidt at 62 WAR. Do you think he's gonna get in?
So I have him as a probably.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me pull up. I mean, 62 WAR. That's getting you pretty close. His career totals are not like locks.
Right. He if he gets to 400 home runs, I know Major League Baseball voters, Hall of Fame voters, love those round numbers, the big round numbers.
Yeah. He's. I mean, he's got a lot. He's got a lot going for him. A lot of Gold Gloves, a lot of All Stars. Got an MVP.
Yeah, and he's got 3 other top 3 MVP finishes.
Yeah,
I think he's very close. I think he'd probably make it even if he had a terrible year this year.
I do too. I think he's a probably, but not a lock though. He's clearly at the end.
Yeah,
or appears to be at the end. I guess not clearly. It appears to be at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would put him in the above 75% likelihood category.
Yep. Freddie Freeman, I feel like, is a lock.
Freddie Freeman, I also have in the probably, but again, probably is like, yeah, pretty close to a lock.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. The different they have almost identical WARs.
Yes, actually, their careers very parallel each other in many ways.
Yep.
Got an
Same.
MVP.
Yeah, same number of home runs, roughly. Goldschmidt a little bit more, but Goldschmidt also has another season on him.
Yeah.
It just feels like Freeman has had a better overall career, more consistent.
He's got a couple of World Series. He's got a World Series MVP. Freeman, looking at this now, I had him in the probably category, which I consider 75%, but I think he's closer to 90. I don't see how he doesn't get in actually.
Yep. Machado,
I have as probably. I think let's look at Machado. I have him as probably. What do you have him as?
Yeah, me too.
So you're going down the list in terms of most career active WAR?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
I skipped. Well, we talked about. No, yeah, I didn't skip anybody.
So Machado. So everyone you've named so far, I think, is in if they retired today. Like maybe not Goldschmidt. He might not get in, but I think everyone you've named so far is in if they retired today. Machado's not.
Yep.
Machado retired today. He's not in, but
he's only 32.
Only 32, and he just had another. I mean, he's having not amazing seasons, but they're okay.
Yeah, and he plays third base.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think he's in.
If he just sort of stays steady for the next 3 years, 4 years, his numbers are going to be too high to not put him in.
Yeah. Speaking of third base, what about Arenado?
Arenado, I remember doing a video on him like 3 years ago and being like, oh, he's easily on pace, and he's really fallen off.
He's had 2 mediocre seasons, 2.2 and 2.5 WAR.
Yeah. He's got 8 All-Star. So I'm whenever I do these, I look at All-Star games and Gold Gloves and WAR, because those 3 things really tell the story. I mean, Gold Gloves obviously not for everybody, but 8 All-Star games and 10 Gold Gloves. I bet you there's nobody with that who's not in.
For a third baseman, especially.
Yeah, I mean, there might be one fluky guy like a catcher or something, but 8 All-Star games, 10 Gold Gloves. That's tough, and his numbers are good enough. I mean, his career totals. I mean,
yeah. What about Altuve?
Well, I mean, he's got some issues, right?
He certainly does. So let's talk about that, because I think he's an interesting one to talk about.
Yeah.
Altuve, obviously, he's had a Hall of Fame career.
Yep.
Right. Kind of what we had hoped, we as Red Sox fans had hoped, and I'm adding you in there for some reason, even though you're a Baltimore fan, what we had hoped Dustin Pedroia could be.
Okay.
and Pedroia actually I think could have been even better than Altuve had he not had the injuries. But Altuve has a pretty big scandal to his name, and there's never been proof, but the evidence, well, not the evidence, the suspicion is great. It's huge about him. Not wanting them to, he didn't want them to rip his shirt off or something because he allegedly had a microphone or some sort of transmitter under his jersey.
Oh, I've forgotten the details of this. Say what you know.
Well, it's not that I know. It's just what is suspected about him was that they were something. Remember, it's 7+ years ago, 7.5 years ago now. But there was something about them like ripping jerseys off after game-winning home runs, and there's video of him saying, "Don't rip my jersey off," and pointing to his chest. And they had the bang the trash cans at the time to give signs, but there were also rumors that they were transmitting signs through a transmitter that was maybe under his jersey.
Yeah. Maybe he was wearing a wire.
Did you watch The Wire, by the way?
No, I haven't seen The Wire, which I live in Baltimore. So
right, oh, man, you got to watch The Wire.
It's on my. Everyone's told me it's the best, like the best show ever.
All right, interlude. What are your favorite TV shows of all time?
So I'm a comedy guy. If you go non-comedy, it's Breaking Bad, which is pretty boring answer because it's hard not to.
Number one of all time.
But my shows are the Parks and Rec, The Office, pretty standard.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, yeah, those levels. Arrested Development.
Yes.
Yeah.
Curb?
I did not. I thought Curb was way overrated. I was a Seinfeld guy. I was definitely a Seinfeld guy. And Curb is fine, but I just thought it was overrated. Sorry.
Seinfeld was, to me, the greatest comedy ever until Curb came along.
Yeah, a lot of my friends say that too. I didn't see Curb. I like it. I just thought it's overrated. It's not a top. Man. It's not a top tier.
Oh, it's the greatest comedy ever. There's a new Apple TV show. It's what?
It's a reach.
There's a new Apple TV show out. Seth Rogen created it, writes it, directs it, stars in it, something like that. Maybe all of the above. And they released 2 episodes this past week. It's called The Studio. And the first 2 episodes are extremely good. It feels like Curb for a new generation. It's definitely cringe comedy.
Okay.
Seth Rogen plays a studio head of a HBO, not HBO, but a movie studio.
Yeah.
And he's insanely awkward, and it's just so cringe everything that happens, and it's very funny.
Have you seen Veep?
I love Veep.
Veep is wildly underrated.
Yeah. Maybe the raunchiest comedy. It's so funny. The things that they would call who's the tall guy from Maine?
I don't know his name.
I don't remember, but yeah, so funny.
Yeah, brilliant writing too.
Yes. Always Sunny?
Always Sunny is okay. Yeah, a little. Yeah.
I've only watched 2 seasons of it, I think.
It wouldn't be in my top tier, but
yeah, I would like to watch more of it, but I've never had the opportunity to.
Yeah.
Okay, but you don't watch other dramas then?
Not much. Dramas. I don't actually watch a lot of TV. I have things in the background. So comedies, The Office and Parks, these are like perfect for that. Breaking Bad. The reason I haven't watched The Wire is because I don't know how long it would be, 20 hours to commit to it without doing something 60. Else. 60. Yeah.
It's 5 seasons, so maybe it's 50 episodes.
Yeah, there's just no way. Like I could have it on while I'm sorting cards, but I don't know. Yeah, that's probably what I should do.
So you listed off some of the comedies, some Michael Schur comedies, Breaking Bad, not Breaking Bad, The Office. Did you watch The Man on the Inside that was on Netflix last year?
With Ted Danson?
Yeah.
I did watch that actually. I was on in the background while I had it on the background. I couldn't tell you. I did watch it. I couldn't tell you anything about it.
I loved it. Okay. So good.
Yeah, I remember liking it, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It was just 1 season, right?
So far, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was a big Cheers guy, so Ted Danson has a place in my heart.
Yeah, he's great. Actually, he's great on curb.
So, oh, he's on curb. So there was this I think it was on Reddit or something, but somebody asked who's the greatest TV star of all time, and Ted Danson's in the conversation because he's been on he's been a major star of so many big hits, right?
Julia Louis-Dreyfus too.
Is she more than Seinfeld and Veep?
Yeah. The New Adventures of Old Christine, where she won some Emmys as
Okay.
best lead actress in a comedy.
Okay.
So that's 3 shows plus Saturday Night Live. Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday Night Live, right? Well, so okay, I think Ted Danson's on. He has like 5, and like 3 are like all time.
Yeah.
Smash.
Yeah.
Shows.
It's an interesting discussion. I agree.
Yeah.
And he's great on curb, and it's interesting because when Larry David pitched him on curb, he felt sorry for Larry, and he agreed to be on it just to help Larry out. They were good friends.
Ted
And
Danson.
yeah, Ted Danson was like, "This is going to be terrible, but I'll be on it."
Well, Ted Danson was right. So.
But then he was in, I think, every season, all 12 seasons.
Okay.
Played himself, and he was very good.
Yeah. Like who can you think of another? So like Al Bundy, that guy, Ed O'Neill, right? Yeah, he's the lead of 2 massive shows. So can you think of anybody else who's been the lead of 2 massive shows? Like, I mean, both those shows were like top 3 shows of their era, right? Maybe not in terms of like the viewership.
Yeah, I'm blanking now.
I don't know if there is. I don't know. I don't know if there is another.
Yeah,
but
Seinfeld has bombed in everything he's done since then.
All of them have, except for Julie.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Yep. All right.
Oh yeah. No, go ahead. Oh, Danny DeVito. Well, I don't know if he wasn't really the lead in either of those of his shows.
Taxi
and Sunny.
Always Sunny. Yeah. No, he's so good and weird and Always Sunny in that second season when he joins. He's why I want to watch more of it.
He does add some flavor. All right, back to baseball. What are you doing here?
All right. Next up, we have. We were talking about Altuve. Do you think? First of all, do you think he deserves? Let's ignore his controversy. Do you think he deserves to be in just based on his career accomplishments?
I think if you ignore the controversy, he gets in now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's got so much hardware. 9 All-Star games. He's got 3 batting titles. He led 200 hits 4 times in a row, leading the league. He's got 2,200 hits, 300 batting average. I mean, he's sort of. If he retired today and didn't have the controversy, I think he probably gets in.
I agree.
And actually, the WAR's a little low.
53-ish.
Yeah.
He might get to 60.
Yeah.
Which I think as a second baseman is enough.
Yeah.
But I also think that there will be enough time between 2017 and when he comes up for eligibility that people won't have forgotten, of course, but I think that there will be, like, Carlos Beltran will get in probably next year.
Yeah.
And once that happens, kind of the dam breaks.
It's like they're all gonna they'll ignore it for all of them.
Yeah. Beltran was held back for 1 season, I believe. He got
really close, right?
60, high 60s, low 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very close, and I think that if they're going to let him in, they'll let in Altuve too, unless something comes out.
Yeah. Who's your next guy?
Next guy is Judge, who is a lock to me, even though he's got a relatively low WAR. The story, look at the black numbers here. It's crazy.
He's a lock.
Absolute lock.
I guess you could make the Roger Maris argument if he retired today. But I think he's a lock. Yeah. I mean, look at those. He's got 2 of the 20 best seasons ever.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. I have him as a lock. Yeah.
Is he the most likable Yankee of all time? Post-war.
Well, I was gonna say the Yankees have a lot of likable guys. I mean,
no, they don't.
No,
I,
is Don Mattingly,
oh no,
Yogi
I
Berra,
just sorry, Don Mattingly and who?
Don Mattingly, Thurman Munson, Yogi Berra. These are pretty likable dudes.
Uh, I
Roger Maris. I mean,
I'm a Red Sox fan. You're in the AL East with Baltimore.
I mean, yeah, I mean, but I can be, somewhat non-biased about it. These aren't like hateable. I mean, even Jeter was a good dude, right?
100% hateable.
Well, he was overrated. Like, that's what Mike told me to say. Derek Jeter is wildly overrated. If you disagree, put it in the comments and yell at Mike.
The only Yankee post-war I ever liked was Mariano Rivera.
Oh,
We
yeah.
talked about this pretty recently because, first of all, he's unbelievable talent. But in 2004, sorry, when he blew the ALCS to the Red Sox, the next year he comes out, gets introduced at the beginning of the season at Fenway Park. Red Sox fans cheered him like crazy because he blew the ALCS for the Red Sox, and he smiled and tipped his cap. And that from then on, I was like, I love Mariano Rivera.
Okay, that's a nice gesture, but come on, that's like a lot to judge a love or hate relationship on.
Hey,
I mean,
Chris,
Mattingly, there's nothing wrong with Don Mattingly.
sports fans are irrational, Chris.
That's fair. Yeah.
I titled a video something like "Irrational Rant About Derek Jeter," and I talked about how irrational my hatred was for Derek Jeter, and it still made Yankees fans insanely mad in my comments.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't like Derek Jeter because when I don't like Nomar either, because in the like the late 90s when Cal Ripken was sort of coming to the end and there was this hot new wave of shortstops,
Sure.
and it was Jeter, Nomar, and A-Rod, and then there was also like Tejada. There was like a bunch of them, and everyone was like, and all these like young kids would walk into the card store and be like, "Oh my God, Ripken's this old guy." And Jeter's, Jeter's so much better.
And you would be like, "Oh, kids,
get off my lawn."
Yeah, Nomar, oh man, and A-Rod, and for a time Tejada were better than Jeter.
Yeah.
But Jeter ended up being way better long term.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to okay, Judge Jose Ramirez.
Oh, that's a good one. I have him as 50-50, but I feel like he's better than that.
He's 32, and yeah, I feel like he's 75%.
Yeah, I'd put him more like there. There's like there's definitely some things lacking. Like he doesn't have much hardware. It's just, I mean, no awards, no postseason anything. Hasn't led the league in anything, but he's just very, very solid. Look at his very, very solid last 4 years. I think
top 6 MVP seasons.
Oh, is that true? Yeah, you're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. Yeah, he's always in the mix.
Yeah, and just consistently good.
Yeah.
If he can get another 3 seasons at 4 WAR each, that puts him up around 65.
Yeah,
feels like a third baseman. He's in.
Yeah, and he's 32. He should get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put him I'm keeping him at 50-50, but I think he's better than that.
Okay. Bryce Harper is a lock. He's got the story. He's got the hardware.
Ooh, a lock. Oh,
yeah.
Really? That's you said that very confidently.
I do think that. I don't think, like, if you look at his numbers, he's probably not a lock considering his position and his WAR. But
1,600 hits, 300 home runs, 51 WAR.
I'm not saying if he retired now he'd be a lock.
A little late. Yeah, all right.
But he's got 2 MVPs. He's
32. Yeah, he's still going strong.
Yeah, and he's insanely popular. He was the best player on Washington and now the best player on Philadelphia.
No World Series wins?
No, because he left Washington and they won
that year. They didn't need him. Actually, it's we're better without him.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
Wait, so this is not a knock against him. It's just a very interesting thing. If you took out the 2 MVP seasons, he's not even close.
Right.
Like not even remotely close. He's in the long shot category. But he has 2 incredible seasons.
He's very inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm keeping him at, well, I think, what did I have him at? 50-50 or?
So we agree he's a lock.
I have him as a probable. Yeah, I have him at 75.
Oh, okay. Good.
But I think that's generous. I think it's more like 64%.
Okay. Lindor, 50 WAR.
Yeah.
31 years old.
Yeah.
Shortstop.
I have him as probable, meaning 75%. And looking at it now, I mean, he's a little light on things, but yeah, the age and the WAR is a good pace, and yeah, like you said, the shortstop aspect helps a lot.
Yeah. Best player for Cleveland, best player for the Mets. And I know somebody's going to say he's the second best player in 2017 for Cleveland. I'm just saying it's consistently he's been the best player or one of the best players on his team.
Yeah. How has he not made an All-Star game in the last 6 years?
That is a great question.
Does he have bad starts to seasons? Like, look, he's like an obvious All-Star each of the last 3 seasons, but he didn't make it.
Great question. No idea.
Okay.
Call for an investigation.
It might have to be a video.
McCutchen is out, in my opinion.
McCutchen, no, yeah, no. Wait, where do I have him? I have him as a long shot, but yeah, I don't see that.
I don't think that's going to happen. We agree. Simeon's, I think, interesting. He's 34. He has a 46 WAR. He led the league in WAR in 2023, just 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The bulk of his career WAR has happened since his age 28 season.
Yeah,
he's actually 34 since then.
He's a very interesting case because I remember with the first time I do one of these videos about once a year, and I remember the first time I did it, I didn't even he wasn't even registering.
Right.
And then his last 4 seasons in his early 30s are amazing. Actually, if you take out COVID, his last 5 seasons are like sick. He did slow down a bit last year. So I have him as less than 50-50, sort of in the unlikely category. But I mean, if he continues the pace of the last 5 seasons for another 5, why not?
And yeah, it's interesting too because he isn't getting on base much. It's like 304, 308, 305.
Right,
but
350 hitter.
Right, but he's shortstop and now second baseman, hitting for power, playing every day, which people love.
Yeah.
His OPS plus isn't that great, which measures him against basically the league average offensively for anybody who isn't aware. I've just way oversimplified that, but and 3 top 3 MVP finishes.
It's pretty. Yeah, who would have? I mean, I just wouldn't have thought that was true, but yeah.
I think he's still a long shot, but it's an interesting case to watch.
He led the league in sack flies in 2022.
Ooh, if he can do that again, he's in.
10 sack flies leads the league. I thought you need more than that.
Stanton, I think, is no chance.
No, he's dropped. He was like a lock. He was like with the injury. You mean?
Yeah. I think even before that, Mike Moynihan and I disagree on this. He thinks that Stanton. I don't remember if he thinks he has a good chance or still has a chance. He hasn't done much in the last 6 or 7 years. For WAR, 0.4, 0.6, 3.1 in 2021, 0.7, negative 0.8 and 0.7.
I mean, really bad. Like his last 6 seasons, he's like an average player at. I mean, really bad.
Yeah, but he's compiled 124 home runs.
429.
124 in the last 6 seasons.
In the last 6 seasons. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's his only shot, right? 500 home run. I mean, you can't keep someone with 500 home runs out. He's three seasons away at the pace he's been going.
Right. But he's also 35.
35. He's gonna miss. Is gonna miss the whole like half the season.
A lot of this season. I don't remember the details, but
yeah,
I don't think he has a shot at getting in the Hall. If he gets to 500, sure.
That's his only shot, I think.
Yeah.
At 27, he would have been like the most obvious lock. He would have been like an Aaron Judge lock level, not Aaron Judge level, but close.
Yeah, I agree. He had. Oops, let's close this out. So through age 27, he had 36 WAR, 260 home runs.
36 WAR at 27.
Yeah, his OPS plus was 147. Lock.
Yeah, with an MVP, a 59 home run season. I mean,
yep. Led the league in home runs twice. Yeah, it's a shame.
Good job on that contract, New York.
They don't care. All right, another interesting case. Carlos Correa, only 30 years old, already has 44 WAR. He's a shortstop. But again, part of that 2017 Houston team.
Yeah. Are we sort of ignoring that for the sake of the conversation? Or
yeah, I don't know that there was any suspicion on Correa. I don't remember hearing anything.
Yeah.
But does he have a shot? He's 30 years old.
He's a very interesting case because the WAR and age is a nice pace. It's like a pace where you're like, he should make it. But then he's got like nothing else for him.
Right.
There's just nothing there. 3 All-Star games. There's just nothing else to point to. I mean, his totals aren't any good.
Led the league in WAR 1 year, and nobody cares about that.
Oh, he did lead the league in WAR 1 year. True. He led the league in sack flies in 2000 with 11,
and grounded into double plays once, and is leading this year.
With 2, yeah. So that would help his case. But yeah, there's just nothing to point to other than the WAR. It's an interesting case. I don't know how his WAR is so high. I guess being shortstop helps.
Right. Exactly. He feels like he's kind of toiled in obscurity for years, even though he was on one World Series team.
By the way, his totals are just not anywhere near what they need to be. Like, you could double his totals and he would not be a lock.
Yeah. I don't think he will get in unless he blows up in his 30s.
He does a Marcus Semien type thing.
Yeah. Okay. Hayward, I don't think has a chance. He's next up in WAR. 42, he's done.
Hayward's out, no.
Okay. Christian Yelich, I think same. Hasn't done anything since he was 27.
Yeah, he would need a complete revival. He's going to fall well short.
Yeah. Okay, and it's too bad too because he had 2 huge seasons.
Another one at 27 would have been like a almost sure thing.
Yep. Xander Bogaerts, I love Xander, former Red Sox player. I don't see it happening for him. He's 32.
Oh, really? I have him as 50-50. Let me see where you don't think you think he's like a really long shot?
Yeah, 25% maybe.
Yeah. No, yeah, 50-50 is way too high. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, again, not much to point to other than the WAR age is an okay pace, I guess. Not really. Yeah, he's not looking good.
Shortstop helps him, but I don't think it's going to happen.
No hardware.
Yeah.
2 World Series, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. But one of them, he was in his rookie year. He played 18 games that season.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He did play 12 in the playoffs and played extremely well.
But he got himself a ring, didn't he?
He did.
Do you know the quote? But he got himself a ring, didn't he?
Well, your voice just sounded like Billy Crystal.
It's Ace Ventura. The kicker.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The kicker's name is right on the tip of my tongue.
It's like Ralph. No, I don't know. I'm not going to come up with it.
I don't remember. It's been too long. I've probably been 6 or 7 years since I last watched that.
Yeah.
Now, people are in the comments yelling the name.
Yeah. No, it's Can I tell you a really quick Ace Ventura story?
Of course.
So I was tutoring a kid who is in, I'm going to say, middle school, maybe early, maybe like a freshman in high school. I was just tutoring him, and I said, "Alrighty then," like as in just in context of whatever. And he's like, "Ah, that's funny. What is that from?" I was like, "Oh, it's from a movie, Ace Ventura." And he's like, "Oh, I've never heard of it." I was like, "Oh yeah, it came out when I was a kid in like the early '90s." And he goes, "Oh, was it in black and white?"
Did you punch him?
It's like, oh no.
Oh man. What are you tutoring kids in?
Oh, well, I used to tutor. This was actually a while ago. I used to be a math tutor. I had a math tutoring business for a little while.
I think I knew that.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Did you go to college for math?
No. I was always very good in math, though.
Okay.
Who's next?
Bregman. Now my guy Bregman, who
Your
also has the, well, he's a Red Sox now.
Yeah.
Also has the 2017 taint.
He's very likable.
He is.
Everyone loves him.
Yeah.
I thought I was okay. Yeah, let me hear your thoughts first in your non-biased way.
Third baseman. He hasn't really done much except be consistently very good for his entire career.
Yeah.
So feels like Hall of Very Good to me, but I feel like if he can be traded to the Red Sox and have, well, I guess he's probably only, if he has an amazing season this year, he's probably going to stay only this year because I think he has an opt-out after one season.
Okay.
But if he can win another World Series, hopefully in Boston, and have like 3 more great seasons, I could see it happening, but I don't think so.
Yeah, again, it's weird. There's like a lot of guys where this is the case. Like their WAR age is sort of at an okay pace to like get to 60, but there's just nothing else to really point to.
Yeah.
There's just not enough hardware. I mean, 2 All-Star games, two world, 1 Gold Glove.
Yep.
Led the league in walks 1 year. I mean, what like make the case without WAR? He did lead the league in sack flies. That's the 3rd guy in a row to do that with 10 and 20. Really, 10 sack flies. Doesn't it seem like doesn't it seem like the league more than 10?
Yeah. I think you said it well. I think you need to be able to make the case without WAR.
Yeah, there's I don't think there's a case here without WAR. Yeah, actually that's a good sort of rule of thumb, right?
Yeah, I agree. Well said. Justin Turner is a definite no.
Justin Turner, he didn't even register on my list. No.
Good. Let's
yeah, he was in the no category, yeah.
Matt Chapman was an interesting one. 32, just had a WAR of 7.1. Doesn't have enough anything else though.
Yeah, he is an interesting one. Started really late, unfortunately for him.
Right. 5 Gold Gloves, 3rd baseman. Position helps him.
Yeah, it's one of those like he's really not anywhere close to the pace, but he just had 7 WAR. So if he does 3 more of those, suddenly he's like, oh wow, he's there.
Right. But we agree, unlikely.
I'd say very unlikely. Yeah.
Corey Seager, 2 World Series and 2 World Series MVPs.
Yeah.
5 All-Stars. 31 years old. 37 more.
If you go with the don't mention WAR thing, you can make the case for Corey Seager. 2 World Series MVPs, that's rare territory.
Very.
But
But he's not Mickey Mantle winning 2 World Series MVPs. He's Corey freaking Seager.
What's wrong with Corey freaking Seager?
There's nothing wrong with him. He's just not a legend.
No, he's not anywhere close, right? And he's never he's been in the MVP mix a few times.
He's finished 2nd 1 year, finished 3rd as a rookie.
Yeah. 5. Yeah, I mean, it's he's light. He's definitely light. I think I'd probably put him in the 50-50, a little under that category.
I was thinking 25.
25 is his WAR to age pace is okay, not great. If he gets to like 60, I think it's okay. I wonder what the average Hall of Famers WAR is at age 30. Would you bet it's like 40, or would you bet it's higher?
I would bet it's average. I would bet at age 30, probably
It's probably higher.
somewhere between 40 to 50.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So he's off the pace there. Is again, a lot of these guys, their totals are just not anywhere close. Like 1,100 hits. He's got to
Yeah.
double that before you even start thinking.
Similar batters through age 30. Tulo, Tejada, Trey Turner, who I think we're going to talk about here in a couple of people, Soriano, Handler. These were all very good players. Chase
Yeah,
Utley will probably get in the Hall of Fame, right?
yeah, I think so.
But no
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 Hall of Famers.
locks.
Interesting.
No legends.
Yeah, I think I think I probably have him too high at 50-50.
Okay. This guy, Juan Soto,
Oh, that's an interesting one. Yeah.
if he continues at this pace, he's like a 90 WAR
He's like
player.
the lock of all locks if he
Right.
continues at this pace.
Yeah.
But if he's Giancarlo Stanton, he's
Well, Stanton never had the batting eye. Stanton was a home run guy, and that's it.
yeah,
Soto walks. He led the league in walks 3 times.
yeah. No, Soto's he started so young. He was good so young. So he started accumulating numbers really early.
Right. He had a
It's
5 WAR season at age 20.
yeah, it's huge. That's huge. It's huge when you want to get the career totals up there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's only got 900 hits, so he's not in the. It's too early, but yeah, he's well on pace. 36 WAR at 26. Wow.
Yeah. All right. Next up is the aforementioned Trey Turner with a batting title and a World Series, plus 3 All-Stars, plus the greatest slide of all time. Have we talked about this before?
No, do tell.
All right, let me find the Trey Turner.
It's the greatest like single slide or just his slides in general.
One single slide, although I think he just did it again recently or at the end of last year. Hang on, I'll share my screen and I'll show you. Here it is, watch. It's the smoothest, coolest move.
Can you slow it down?
No, I can't.
Okay. That's pretty slick, yeah. Okay, but I mean it's cool. It's not like he's not like good because of it.
No, of course not. But it's fun.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I think so. If we go back to Trey Turner, he's got a lot of black marks here, and black marks are good, of course, but they're all like most at bats, most games. He has led the league in hits twice. One of those was a COVID season, though.
Stolen bases twice, batting average title. He's got a batting title. Yeah, the black ink's not great.
Yeah,
but it's not bad. I don't really see a case here.
Yeah, unlikely.
Yeah.
Now, my friend is a Phillies fan, and he says JT Realmuto is a future Hall of Famer. I say absolutely not. We argue about this. There's no way this guy gets into the Hall of Fame.
Who's your friend?
He lives in Philadelphia.
Okay.
He's not a YouTuber, and he's not a collector, in fact.
Okay.
But he has 2 Gold Gloves, 3 All-Stars.
Let me make the case here. Yeah, I can't do it. Sorry.
No, it's not going to happen. So let's skip over from this catcher to a catcher with the same exact WAR, actually a 1 or 2 WAR lower.
Perez?
Salvador Perez, Kansas City Royals, who has 5 Gold Gloves, 9 All-Stars, a World Series MVP, and he's played his entire career in Kansas City.
Yeah, it's an interesting. What do you think first?
I think he's got a very good chance of getting in because he's insanely popular, which counts. It matters to the voters.
Yeah.
The fact that he's part of that 2015, was it when they won the World Series? Yeah. That team with all the Gold Gloves, he feels a little bit like a power hitting Yadi Molina.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
There's clearly a case there. Those numbers are so low, man. Those career totals.
Yep. But he's a catcher.
Yeah, but even for a catcher, like actually, I wonder. I don't know. Maybe those add up okay for a catcher, but 5 Gold Gloves and 9 All-Star games. Again, that's a combination you're not going to find many players with that not in, and a World Series MVP to boot. But man, 1,500 hits, 200, 260. There's just nothing. If he wasn't a catcher, he'd have no chance.
Exactly. Right. No chance whatsoever. But he gets to 300 home runs as a
So
catcher.
how good a defensive? I mean, 5 Gold Gloves is not amazing. He's not he's not Ivan Rodriguez or something defensively. How good a defensive catcher was he? Do you know?
Ivan Rodriguez had 13. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how good he is defensively.
Okay.
I haven't pitched to him in a little while.
Yeah, he hasn't called your games for you.
I think he's
he won a home run title.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I think he's 50-50 or better.
50-50 or better? Really?
Yeah. Write it down. Mark it down.
Where do I have him?
In 8 years.
I have him as 25%. Okay, by the way, explain the home run season. It's a Brady Anderson level.
It is a little bit of a Brady Anderson, but if you look at his seasons, it's the only season. Well, he had 150 games.
Oh yeah, it's true. He played the most games by a good bit. Yeah.
Luck. There's some luck there.
Yeah.
If you look at, I don't know. I got nothing.
Okay. He also had a lot of strikeouts that year, so he might have just been swinging for the fences left and right.
Yeah.
Wow, he never walks, like never.
Right.
I don't know, man. He's all right. Fine, I'll give you 50. I mean, I'm going to stick with 25. You're putting above 50-50.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's all about the stories. It's all about the headlines.
The story's there. He's got the story, and there's a case to be made. There's a very easy case to be made, actually. But you don't have to reach to make a case.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Next guy is Matt Olson, who I don't think has a shot. Great season, great career.
I have him as 25%.
Yeah, 25 would be
that's generous.
Yeah, 5 times he's led the league in games, though. Good for him.
That's boring.
Great career.
No,
Big
yeah.
Matt Olson fan.
I mean, it's sort of one of those, like, the last 4 years. If he duplicates the last 4 years, he'll be there. Right? He's only 30. Huh?
Yeah, I'm in. Sure.
Like, would you agree with that?
I do. Yeah, I just don't think I don't think he will.
No, I don't either. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You heard of this guy?
Shohei.
Yeah, I think that's how it's pronounced.
Okay. Yeah.
Lock.
He's pretty good.
My friend Ryan argues with me. I say Shohei's a lock, and Ryan's like, he hasn't even played 10 seasons, and he gets actually mad at me for saying he's a lock.
I mean, he's only have 4 All-Star game appearances, no Gold Gloves. It's just not there.
Okay. Now, wait, what's the quote now from your video recently? It's just so low.
It's just so low.
His WAR is just so low.
Whoa. Wait,
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I am now going to title this video, Chris Sewall thinks Shohei will never make the Hall of Fame. He's a terrible baseball player.
Yeah, he's a lock, obviously. I mean, assuming he gets to 10 seasons, he's a lock.
Yeah.
If he has 3 more bad seasons, he's kind of a lock. Like,
absolutely.
There's no 3 MVP guy not in besides Bonds with the PEDs.
Right. So he has his 8 seasons. So he actually only needs to appear in 2 more seasons, and he would get in.
Yeah, right.
He could tear his ACL right now.
Play 1 game each season.
Yep, he'd be in.
Oh, that would be an interesting debate, actually. But yeah, I would put him in also. You put him in with 880 career hits.
Yeah. Yep. This is probably the most interesting case.
Okay,
Acuna has the talent to be a lock, but he's missed 2. Let's see. 2021, he missed half the season. 2022, he missed a quarter of the season. 2024, he missed 3/4 of the season.
Yeah.
In 2025, he is not yet playing, but I think he's due back in the first half of the season. But he's Juan Soto level talent, maybe even a little better, at least as a power hitter and runner. But
He's a really interesting case. Yeah, exactly. He's Juan Soto. If he avoids the injuries, he's the easiest lock ever. But there's been no sign that he can avoid the injuries.
yeah, a big thing missing here is that World Series win. Was that 2021 where they won the World Series?
Yeah, they did better off without him. Bryce Harper level.
Oh no! How did I not see that coming? No ring. Well, he probably has a ring, but
He got a ring, right?
He's not credited with a World Series win.
Yeah. Oh, he's not. Yeah, you're right. It's not on here. Is that true? If you're on the roster but injured mid-season, you don't get the
right. I know that they voted him to get a ring and a playoff share, whatever. I'm sure they did.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not credited with a World Series win.
I mean, he went 40-70, bro.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Another guy who had a ton of potential, Cody Bellinger. Bellinger started his career from ages 21 to 23 with a Rookie of the Year and an MVP and 111 home runs in his first 3 seasons.
Wow, what a start. Yeah.
And he's completely collapsed since then.
I don't even have him on my list. I guess he didn't have enough career WAR for me to mention him. Yeah.
So only 29. He's with the Yankees now. He could go on a 5-season tear, 6 WAR per season, and he'd end up with 55 WAR, 60 WAR.
He would need to do that.
Right. And he's capable of it. Well, but it's unlikely.
It's been 6 seasons since he's done that.
Right. I think he's close to 0%, 10% chance.
Yeah, I don't see it unless he goes on a tear. He did lead the league in sack flies with 12.
12?
Yeah, it's the highest we've
all-time record. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for him. And then Yordan Alvarez, who feels to me like a massive talent, just hits so many home runs. 27 years old, has 164 home runs. But I don't know. 24 WAR.
Yeah, why is that so low? I guess he started real late.
It's just so low.
His first full season was at age 24. That hurts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd put him a little below. I'd put him below 50-50 at this point. But
yeah, 25 maybe.
We're kind of getting into the too early to call.
Yeah.
Levels. Yeah, I mean at 20. Yeah, he's only had 4 full seasons.
Yeah. All right, pitchers. This will be quick.
Pitchers. Okay.
Verlander is a lock.
Verlander's a lock. Yep.
Kershaw is a lock.
Kershaw's a lock. Yep.
Scherzer is a lock.
Scherzer's a lock. Yeah.
And that's where it gets a little. Oh, there's Verlander. That's where it gets a little different. Chris Sale.
The pitchers are really interesting because the whole landscape's changed with stats.
Right. And I only have 4 guys that I want to talk about here as pitchers.
Okay.
Sale, I didn't think had a chance until he won the Cy Young last year and had a 6 WAR season.
Yeah.
Now he's at 53. I think, and yeah, so this is part of the bigger discussion, which maybe we should have another video to talk about this.
Yeah.
Did we just talk about this recently? They are going to need to adjust how they view pitchers. At some point in the next 5 to 10 years, there will be a reckoning. And that's why I think I bought a rookie refractor autograph of King Felix Hernandez.
Mm-hmm.
I think that eventually he will get into the Hall of Fame because of when he comes on the ballot. It's such a weird time where there's not any other pitchers. There's not really anybody else who's even good. He might get a big bump because of that. And then the writers are going to have to start saying, you know what, we have to rethink what we think of.
Otherwise, we're never
going to
find any pitchers. Yeah.
Right. And Chris Sale will benefit from that big time. He'll be one of the first, along with Felix Hernandez and some others.
The pitcher is a really interesting thing because now that Kershaw, Kershaw, Scherzer, and Verlander and Greinke's he's retired, right?
Retired.
When those guys are done, and that's coming up here, there's just going to be no more obvious Hall of Fame pitchers anymore,
right?
Other than Paul Skeens, who we should put in already here.
He should, yeah. I mean, just retire him.
I mean, it's more like you're going to have to just not look at the numbers because, like Chris Sale, his number is not even close. If you went with traditional career numbers, 138 wins,
right.
Like 2000. I mean, I guess he's not super.
But look close, at this.
But then look at the run. Yes, that's what I was just going to. You have to have to look to how good he was each season. 7 years where he was a legit Cy Young contender. Top 6 finisher. All it was an MVP. Got MVP votes for the seasons.
Yeah. Yep. And then he went 4 or 5 straight seasons injured.
Okay.
Didn't do much, and then he won the Cy Young last year
after he left Boston.
Right.
Love that.
He did help the Red Sox win the World Series in 2018.
Okay. Oh, did he?
Yep.
Was he? Okay, nice.
Yeah, he was great that year.
18-3. That's pretty Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez level.
Yeah, and he was in the playoffs that year. He pitched 15 innings, 24 strikeouts, 1.24 WHIP. I think Sale gets in. I'm convinced of it.
Yeah, I'm at 50-50. I think I'd bump him up a little higher than that.
Yeah. And then here's an interesting one. Jacob deGrom, maybe the greatest pitching talent, just pure pitching talent in the post-war era. Just look at, I mean, he had an entire season,
Wow.
0.91 WHIP, followed by 0.97 WHIP, followed by 0.95 WHIP. Wow. He had a season with only 64 innings, but his WHIP was 0.74. His career WHIP, active leader, 0.994.
What's this 108 ERA in 2021? Is that real?
92 innings, yeah.
So he didn't qualify for the
injuries.
So how many innings do you have to qualify for ERA? Do you know?
I don't know.
Who has a 108 ERA? Like that's a video game stuff.
Right. He is staggeringly good when healthy. 0.55 WHIP for 92 innings.
He's Dwight Gooden though, isn't he?
He's
how do you
better, but yeah.
Starting pitcher with 84 career wins.
You don't.
Yeah.
But it'll be an interesting case when it comes up if they are starting to adjust how they look at starting pitchers. I just don't think he will get anywhere near. He might even fall off after.
You think there's a better case for Chris Sale over Jacob deGrom? I mean, back-to-back Cy Young's one of the best 5-year runs in history. I guess it's only a 4-year run where you would say that.
Yeah, because of the injuries.
I talked about Johan Santana in a recent video, and he's kind of here, right? In this sort of
yeah. I think Santana did it longer.
Yeah,
but
Santana got no consideration for the Hall.
Yeah, it's timing.
Was it? Why?
Yeah.
Oh, why? Why do you say that?
Because who came on the ballot at the same time as him? If I remember correctly, it was stacked.
Oh, it was like Pedro, Randy, Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz.
I don't remember, but yeah, something like that.
Okay, well, yeah, it should have been after those guys. Actually, he should have been after those guys. Anyway, okay, yeah, deGrom's an interesting case. Yeah, I'm curious who the next pitcher would be. Oh, yeah, look at Santana.
Look at all the black mark. Yeah, this is he was even better than deGrom.
For like you said, longer. His stretch is like a 7-year or a 6-year run of like true dominance, right?
Yep. Does it show Hall of Fame voting?
Yeah, you scroll down.
2018. Trevor Hoffman, Mike Mussina, Roger Clemens, Billy Wagner.
Like in if you go by numbers, like wouldn't you like to me Johan Santana is more of a Hall of Famer than Mike Mussina, and I'm an Orioles guy. I loved Mike Mussina.
Mussina
he was very good for a long time.
Yeah, but baseball voters love the very good for a long time guys.
I guess. Hey, who are you looking at? That's Messina? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. He was great. I mean, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times in the top 6
No, actually, yeah,
in
I'm
Cy
looking, yeah,
Young.
his numbers are much better than I remember. Wow, 270 wins, 83 WAR. Is that right?
Yeah.
Am I
Yep.
looking at that?
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, okay, I take that back. Maybe seen as a Hall of Famer over Santana, obviously.
Santana was more dominant, but
Yeah,
just it didn't last.
yeah.
And then I had a couple guys that I didn't. Alcantara has the talent if he could just stay healthy.
Alcantara. What about, and you had Nola?
Yeah, I skipped over Nola. I didn't mean to include him.
Okay.
But Alcantara's 29. If he had played at the age of 28 and got another 8 WAR, he'd be up around 30 now. I can kind of see it, but no, it's a shame. Another guy, and this is part of the problem with pitchers, is they throw too hard. They put everything into every pitch nowadays, which they never did until the 2000s probably.
Yeah.
And now they can carry more pitchers on their staff, and you only need to throw four innings. So they just throw it 100 miles an hour every single pitch.
It's funny to me that like we said earlier with the bat, like how did baseball not figure this strategy out much earlier? Like,
Right.
Hey, you don't need a pitcher starting pitcher the entire game, every game. Just mix it up.
Right. But it's bad for baseball, right? I think a lot of people
Well,
who love baseball say these pitchers are weak nowadays, but that's not the case. Baseball has shifted to the point where teams want their pitchers throwing as hard as they can on every single pitch, and they're just going to bring in more and more pitchers. They're going to injure their pitchers more, and they'll have more pitchers. It's a replaceable commodity.
yeah. Yeah. Yes. that's my analysis.
It's a good one.
Yeah, no, I mean, but yeah, it just strikes me as weird that they never thought to do something like that before. But yeah, you're right. It definitely makes the starting pitcher a lot less appealing of a. I mean, think of like the Pedro, Randy. Think of our era: Pedro, Randy, Clemens, Maddox, Smoltz. These like
Love those guys. Sidney
stud
Ponson.
Sidney Mott, Ponson, right in the middle of the steroid era. There's still like just sick pitchers. Pedro, Randy. I mean, how many? These guys are like winning Cy Youngs and ERA titles, and you'll see that more.
Yeah, look at Pedro at the 1999 All-Star game. Mowed down, if I remember correctly, 5 of the first 6 NL hitters at Fenway Park, and it was like Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, Larry Walker. I don't remember who else, but that's a stacked lineup. And
Wait, is
Pedro,
the famous? I'm actually surprised that I'm not familiar with that. Is that a famous moment?
yeah, 1999 All-Star game. Let me see.
Yeah, where he mowed down like 6 studs in a row, or struck out 5 out of 6.
I think it was 5 out of 6,
including like Bonds, Hercules, Babe
okay,
Ruth.
here it is. Barry Larkin, Larry Walker, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Matt Williams, and Jeff Bagwell.
I got 4 Hall of Famers in there, and then two guys who would have been if it wasn't for steroids, I think. Or I guess not Matt Williams.
Matt Williams was great. He had a great career. I'm just for some reason I didn't think that was his last All-Star appearance.
It would have been better if Bonds was in there. Sorry. Yeah. Pedro's your boy, right?
Pedro is, yeah, my all-time favorite athlete.
Oh, he's your all-time favorite athlete?
Certainly baseball player. I'm trying to think of another athlete that I've liked more than Pedro, and I can't come up with one. Considering my obsession with baseball in that era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Did you watch the sequel to Breaking Bad, or I guess the prequel?
Yeah, Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not as not top all time show, but yeah, very very high up there, top
Yeah,
tier. Yeah,
yeah.
and well done. I like a lot. I hate remakes, hate them, but I love when they add on to things like that.
See, I've grown to love remakes. Like I want my childhood nostalgia remade. Bring on Goonies.
No,
Bring
no,
on.
man.
I
No, add
love
on
it.
to it. No, do a prequel like the Karate Kid thing. They got that show where it's like
Yep.
a
Yep.
that's I like that. I mean, the show's not mediocre, but I like that concept. Like you're adding on to it, you're not redoing it. When they remade the Karate Kid, it's like this is stupid.
Fair. Okay.
This is why Star Wars is so amazing. There's no remakes. It's all one big universe, and
Star Wars is terrible.
it's all one story. And I'll forgive you for that one. But when they do like Star Trek, they just keep like rebooting everything, or the Marvel for a long time. There's Hulk. Oh, there's a new Hulk. Oh, scratch that. There's a new Hulk. Oh, scratch that. There's a new Hulk. I can't stand that.
Yeah. Those comic book movies aren't for me either.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
What about The Sopranos?
I never saw The Sopranos. I would probably like it. It's like a Goodfellas feel, right? I loved Goodfellas. So
Yeah, and it's got a lot of the same actors.
as Goodfellas,
Yeah. I'm trying to think. It's been so long since I've
like
seen
a lot of
Goodfellas.
the side characters are the
Yeah.
yeah
Same actors, I should say, not
the same
characters.
actors. Yeah, yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Sopranos is top 3. I would say Breaking Bad, Sopranos, The Wire, The Americans.
Would Sopranos like Sopranos is now 20 years old? Would it still be amazing today?
If you rewatch it, if you watched it now, I
If you
think
watched it for the first time, I mean,
there are a lot of lulls in the show that I don't think would happen today, and there's certain themes, the certain things that wouldn't. It's too slow
yeah,
for now. Like there are episodes where not much happens.
I don't mind that
Right. I
if
love it.
if it's good world building or whatever.
Yeah, I just don't think it would really happen now. I think episodes they try to pack a lot in now.
Hmm.
They're faster, and there are just some episodes where it's just like think about the Breaking Bad episode where there's a fly in
Fly.
the lab, and how much people obsess over how slow that episode was and how nothing happened. There
Yeah.
are a lot of those episodes in Sopranos.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I mean, in Breaking Bad, I thought it worked but kind of because it was a one off. Uh,
Right.
I don't know if it was every fifth episode that might get annoying.
Right.
But
Yeah.
well, the Wire's on my list, and I guess I should put Sopranos on there because I would like the Sopranos, assuming it wasn't like outdated at this point.
Yeah. Sopranos for me is also a little nostalgic, which sounds hilarious, but my uh, half of my family is very Italian,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't tell by looking at me, of course, but when I was a kid, I go to my grandfather's and my aunts and uncles, and they are straight out of The Sopranos, minus the murder.
Okay, they got the spaghetti sauce and then like everyone's talking over each other and there's like 8 million conversations going on at once
Yes.
and like very very welcoming of everyone who walks in and so excited to see everybody. Yeah, a lot of
The
the
way
stuff.
they talk, the way they dress.
Yeah,
Yeah. The
yeah,
hair, they've got the track suits, and
yeah.
you walk in, and my grandfather would say, "There he is," just like they do, and every time a guy walks in, "There he is."
I want to go to your family house.
They're unfortunately they have all passed,
Oh, sorry.
but great memories. So
Are you
I
are
watched
you
that.
are you are you continuing on the tradition? With
No,
no.
no,
Okay.
but this is fun, Chris, as always.
Of course, yeah. Very fun. Did we hit every player of note?
Yeah. Anybody else you wanted to cover?
No, yeah, you got everybody. Yeah, you got everybody. Garrett Cole. Did we?
We can talk Garrett Cole. I think with his injury, he's probably not going to make it. But again, when they start reconsidering
Yeah,
pitchers,
no,
shoots.
he's the only person on my list you didn't hit. Yeah,
Yeah.
so good.
I like Cole, another one of those likable Yankees, which I hate saying. I can't believe I'm saying that. I
Do you
picked
like
up his
Cal
rookie
Ripken?
card.
You like Cal Ripken?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't hate the Orioles because they were never good. They won the World Series in
like 1547 or something.
What was the year in the 80s? 83.
83.
Yeah.
It was before
then,
I was 4, so I didn't see it.
Yeah, me too. I have no recollection of even the 86 World Series that the Red Sox were in.
Oh, you don't remember? Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah.
87.
Oh, no, that's fortunate.
It's very fortunate. 87 is the first year of baseball I remember.
Okay, 88 for me, which is when the Orioles started the season off 0-21, which is, I believe, still a record.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a Sports Illustrated cover about that. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
And I remember, or maybe I'm thinking of the Houston Rockets season where they started 0-15, and there were a lot of comparisons to the Orioles.
Okay. What's amazing is they had Eddie Murray and Cal Ripken on that team. Two like Hall of Fame legends on the team.
Yeah.
We're still terrible.
Is Eddie Murray a Hall of Fame legend though?
Yeah, he's a well, if you break it into 3 tiers, he's a tier 2, no? Hall of Famer? Tier 3?
Tier 3.
503,000.
He was a compiler.
He was a compiler, yeah. Like okay, fine.
69 WAR, which is better than I thought. I would have said around 60.
Well, Ripken's tier 2 at a minimum, right?
Ripken is high tier 2.
Yeah, that's where I'd put him.
Yeah. Murray
was high tier 3. How about that?
Okay. His top home run total was 33.
Yeah. Well, that's.
But he did that a lot.
Salvador Perez's second best season.
Yes. But he led the league in home runs and RBIs during the strikes shortened.
Yeah, with like 21 or something silly.
Yeah, good call. 22.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
No, you're right. He's a compiler. I agree, actually. But the number, but he's an extremely good compiler because those numbers got pretty high.
Yeah, there's no doubt. He was great. Earned his Hall of Fame career.
Yeah. Okay. You don't believe that, but whatever.
I do.
You're a Red Sox fan.
That's right. Yeah. AL East. Yeah. This is always fun.
Yeah, man.
Anytime we can show off the Trey Turner slide is a win.
Good. Yeah, I like that.
And talk about TV shows.
Yeah.
And you're not watching any shows now, like White Lotus, Severance?
Oh, I have a friend who texts me every day to watch White Lotus, and I'm just like, I don't have time, man. I'm very busy and important. Don't you know?
I'm not.
You're not.
That's why I have time to watch these shows. I'll get up tomorrow morning. I'll wake up at 5:15, and my first priority is watching tonight's White Lotus.
Yeah, White Lotus and the I don't know. Okay, there's another one he says the same, something like this, the Specialists or something. I don't.
There's so many shows. I don't have time for all of them. I try to watch the ones that are like the best.
Yeah.
Severance.
Oh, maybe it's Severance.
Yeah.
That's on now.
It's the second season just ended a week or so ago.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe that's the one he's saying. Yeah.
All right, Chris.
All right, man.
Thanks for joining me.
Yes.
Talk to you soon.
As always. Bye.
Right. Bye.
Yeah.